Generally in technology, we see minor changes from year to year, but this has never been more pronounced on Android than the jump from the Galaxy S24 Ultra to the S25 Ultra. With that in mind, here's what you need to know. It's this guy again, and I'm not going to subscribe to the channel guy. Go on, please, I'll be your friend. Plus, you get nice videos, and we'll be mates together. You know it makes sense. Cheers. So 2 changes to the hardware system are instantly noticeable when looking directly at the Galaxy S24 Ultra and the S25 Ultra: the shape and the screen. Elsewhere, the formula or core DNA remains basically exactly the same. This is both a positive and a negative. Firstly, the new shape and the trim dimensions allow for smaller bezels and a larger usable display. While the flatter profile is better for usability, it doesn't stop there though, as the Galaxy S25 Ultra is 14 grams lighter than the S24 Ultra, 218 grams versus 232 grams. And I've found that this is one of the changes that, at least on paper, seems insignificant, but is a welcome change once you pick both of these up. Annoyingly, the corners are quite sharp and in my hands, a little bit uncomfortable. Because of this, a case is a must, but you do that anyway. The weight changes mean that even with a case, your phone will be lighter overall, but the benefits are definitely here to see for anyone with this new design change. And with that in mind, here's a word from our channel sponsor. So you've unboxed your overpriced S25 Ultra, and let me be honest with you, it's a fingerprint magnet, and at least in my case, those side edges hurt my feeble hands. Don't worry about it though, because this is where channel sponsor Dbrand kicks in. They have a ton of new kit for the latest Samsung phones, including the Ghost Case 2.0, which is the perfect way to soften those edges, gives you that extra grip, plus you get to look at the admittedly plain back of your S25 Ultra or S25 series device. Dbrand though even added MagSafe because, well, Samsung forgot to put in the magnets and added Qi too. What's the reason for that? I don't know. If colour's more your style, then go for the grip case. It has those glow-in-the-dark glow circuit skins as an option, but if you want super thin protection, full body skins are back. I'm not saying you should cover the stunning anti-glare display on this phone either, but the idiot-proof Prism 2.0 screen protectors with that super easy application method might save you some money on a display repair, and you won't get those snagging, annoying, dirty, cheap screen protectors from other brands out there. Friends don't let friends run around with a Samsung, so go get your Galaxy S25 Ultra and S25 series device protected and injected with some flavour via the link down in the description. Getting back into this comparison, save the displays being almost at least a negligible jump anyway from 6.8 to 6.9 inches and those smaller bezels, they are really comparable panels here. You get that incredible anti-glare coating, impressive peak brightness levels, and superb in-display fingerprint scanners, meaning unlocks are practically perfect every time. It's a good time all around, and for content I think it's hard to pick a better mobile screen, period. No matter what you plan to do on your phone, these are just the best in the business if you ask me. The S25 Ultra's completely flat panel does have an undoubted edge, at least as far as I'm concerned, but sharper corners are just easier to clasp or grasp case on or case off, despite some discomfort worries as I mentioned. Other changes in the design include a marginally smaller S Pen on the S25 Ultra. This is due to the lack of some functions and Bluetooth connectivity. It's now just a regular stylus, which means certain hands-free features are missing entirely. So if you don't want to give these up, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is the last to ship with them, at least intact, as far as we can see for now. And aside from the supposed performance jump from the 8 Gen 3 to the 8 Elite, the core internals of the Galaxy S24 Ultra and the S25 Ultra are practically identical. This is where we could see some confusion as to what has actually been improved. You're basically getting the same experience across all facets of One UI 7, which is still technically in beta for the S24 series as of February 2025. Side by side, the differences are, well, as far as I can see, non-existent when doing all kinds of general usage tasks. You may see some boosts when doing AI-specific things, as the Galaxy S25 Ultra has some extra tricks up its sleeve with multimodal AI capabilities, and this just means that you can get the on-device Gemini-powered systems to accept multiple requests simultaneously. Currently this only works with Samsung applications, which might lessen the appeal of using such commands to people who want to go beyond those default application sets, and it is one area I do think Samsung needs to broaden that horizon and allow us to control other areas of our phone. If you don't like AI functions, like a lot of people out there, this exclusive AI toolset will probably have zero effect on how you use it, or at least experience either the Galaxy S24 Ultra or the S25 Ultra. And while the stable One UI 7 build isn't available for all S24 series devices, the updated interface and tuning have some of the best upgrades Samsung has made to its skin in a long time. It's smoother and cleaner overall. It's just a great update throughout the entirety of it. There are some functions here like the Now bar, which offers a passive AI or passive AI functions and new takes on live activities for the lock screen, and I really do like this option and think it's one of the best additions that Samsung's added in a while. In fact, with Android 15 on the S24 series, the device feels marginally smoother and helps improve performance over Android 14 while bridging the gap to the S25 lineup. You will not notice a change once this update arrives more widely, at least as far as we can tell. And to that end, the improved chipset will offer some decent performance bumps in a few key areas, save for things that require lots of CPU and GPU time. I think, as always, realistically this is just going to mean better gaming experiences and hopefully better thermals on the S25 Ultra, courtesy of an improved cooling system. Both phones can do things like handle high-end emulation, which is one of the reasons you might be interested in this duo as well, as they are some of the most powerful devices on the market still. One of the biggest arguments to stick with the older model if you have it is that it's still set to receive 6 years of OS updates, and the update plan is 7 years for both of these devices, so you are set for a long time to come, and it means you can just run this into the ground if you really did want to and be supported with security patches and all that jazz. Yet another area where changes are minuscule once again is the camera systems. Samsung has added some camera lens covers and a new 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens on the S25. Beyond that, they're identical. The core system includes that 200 megapixel main sensor, 10 megapixel 3x optical, and 50 megapixel 10x optical. The Galaxy S24 Ultra has a 12 megapixel ultra-wide compared to that 50 on the S25 Ultra. As part of the chipset change, the newer device should have better image processing, and it should be enhanced with new algorithms to improve sharpness while reducing things like motion blur and noise in your images. Honestly, it's not quite as pronounced when you view images taken side by side, and even with that upgraded ultra-wide, I don't think it makes a vast visual difference. There are some super subtle tuning changes, but they're so minor, at least in most circumstances, that you'd likely not be able to tell these photos apart until I told you, and that includes the 12 megapixel selfie camera. Naturally, this also applies to video, which is very similar across the board once again. That said, low light videos on the S24 Ultra do actually surpass the S25 Ultra in certain circumstances. This could be due to those tuning differences I mentioned just a moment ago, as the video looks more natural on the newer handset, which means it necessarily doesn't feel as processed across the board. There are also zero differences in the 5000 mAh internal cells on the S24 Ultra and S25 Ultra. There's no new battery tech thrown in here. This extends to the charging as well, so that means 45 watt wired, 15 watt wireless, and 5 watt reverse wireless charging as standard. When using a supported charger, it'll take around an hour to go from 0 to 100%, which is, I guess, par for the course with lots of phones nowadays, but we would like it to see a big bump at least sometime in the future. The thing is, all-day battery life is something that Samsung phones have been excelling for a while now. If you're doing lots of gaming or shooting tons of video and photos, I think you will get extended lifespan with the S25 Ultra thanks to some efficiency gains on that processor itself. That said, in general mode, either phone will be great for basically anything you'll need it to do, and then heavy users as well, you'll be pretty happy as well. To round this entire comparison out, I think save the design changes, there's really very little to separate the S24 and S25 Ultra. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should seriously consider an upgrade unless they can get an incredible trade-in, at least trade-in value, and simply want one of the new colorways on the S25 series. You will notice practically zero differences, and you'll lose out actually on some of those wireless S Pen functions if they're important to you. And while it's stupid to even say this out loud, the older your phone, the bigger the leap when picking up those new generation of Galaxy phones. This is the smallest upgrade of any major Android phone for some time. Aside from a new shape, this is only really a change to the ultra-wide camera system. From a pure tech perspective, the lack of major upgrades is disappointing, and a highly critical take would be that Samsung has more or less lost its way in recent years, with no true competitors, specifically in North America, maybe save the OnePlus 13 at least on paper. The lack of real competition means that we're getting the least meaningful changes in a long time, and it dulls the sheen of what is otherwise a very competent package that has all of the hallmarks of a high-end Samsung Galaxy flagship we've come to know and love. I want to ask you though, do you think Samsung made the right changes on the Galaxy S25 Ultra? The S24 Ultra is fantastic in its own right, and I don't think, as I noted, anyone should be thinking of upgrading, but let me know, have you made the leap? Have you managed to get really good trading value and made the jump to the newer phone, and how are you getting on? Let me know down in the comment sections below what you think, and until next time, yeah, I'll speak to you later.